Jennifer, I'm not sure what we expect or why we expect the answer to change. I know it keeps getting asked over and over again, but there isn't much of an answer beyond what he said, is there?
Well, no, there's no answer beyond that. The answer. It should just even. He shouldn't even have to elaborate. It just should be no. I feel sorry for the Prime Minister in a sense because he keeps getting questioned on this, and I mean it's getting attention elsewhere in the world though, and I think that we are getting support, and we're going to start seeing support from other countries, other allies that we have, because the world is standing up and taking notice that, these are our closest neighbors and allies and friends. And I'm using gigantic air quotes here in this last part, probably for the first time ever. Now, I don't know about you, Aaron, but this has been the longest political year of my life, and it's only been 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's just it, right? Think back to the big story, which was January 6th, when Justin Trudeau decided to resign, and think how much has changed in literally just over a month, including, of course, the Liberals who were over and done and toast and whatever, and suddenly, guess what? With Mark Carney at the helm, it looks like it's basically, a flip it, right? It doesn't matter.
Well,
right?
It's
a dead heat.
I was thinking about this earlier. It is a dead heat. And, I was thinking about Poilievre earlier, and I was thinking that I wanted to mention this to you, that I'm surprised that he hasn't capitalized on this crisis, because this is a crisis. I don't want to try to alarm anybody, but it is a crisis that we're facing with the tariff situation and all of the situation with the person in the White House. But I'm surprised that Poilievre hasn't tried to either step up and show himself to be prime ministerial, or to try to be part of the solution. But no, he's not able to go carbon tax Carney, because all of the Liberal candidates have basically tossed that out overboard, and they don't want to do it. But he's doing the same thing, and he's linking, Carney to Justin Trudeau and whatever. But by the same token, if he wants to be, intellectually honest and historically honest, he was also an advisor to Boris Johnson, who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain. He was a conservative. So this is what central bankers do. They advise prime ministers, and this is why I think Canadians are stepping up and noticing, hey, we need somebody serious at the helm. And it's unfortunate for Poilievre. I don't know why he is reverting back to this kind of opposition name-calling thing that doesn't appeal to anybody. They haven't changed their strategies. They haven't changed their tactics. They've just changed their one-liners there. And, he should be taking this opportunity, far be it for me to advise conservatives, but anybody should be taking this opportunity to make themselves look really, really good. But no, he's making himself look petty, as are the opposition parties in Quebec, criticizing François Legault as to who they're meeting with. I mean, we should all be singing from the same page in the hymn book, I think.
In it together, as we say, right? I wonder, too, though, in the case of Pierre Poilievre, and it's funny you say that, I was thinking the same thing. What are you going to start highlighting if you have to lose all your sloganeering stuff about Axe the Tax and Canada's broke? You have to move on from that because the situation has changed, and he does not seem to have been able to do that.
Well, you're absolutely right. And I mean, they took his glasses away and stuff like that, but I have yet to hear a solution. And I think that, Canadians are going to, act and do this, do that, and whatever. But what are some concrete policy solutions? What are, he's not able to juxtapose himself. It's just a matter of criticizing and criticizing and criticizing. But at a certain point, you have to, come forward with some examples of things that would, that would help. I mean, Jagmeet Singh and his 100% tariffs on Teslas. I mean, that's a little bit over the top, but at least it's a concrete solution, right?
Yeah, I will point out, by the way, at the same time as the Conservatives, or at least Pierre Poilievre, is trying to grasp at something, he can't even use that capital gains thing anymore because we've had both Liberal candidates talk about getting rid of it anyway. It's like they're taking away whatever points he originally had.
Well, that's it, because he kind of has done a very strange thing because they didn't kind of expect this eventuality. He thought he was going to be running against Justin Trudeau, and he never prepared. But I mean, now it's been, as you mentioned, since the 6th of January, they need to change their game a little bit and to pivot and to go after people, and maybe not with the same tactics, not the name calling and the na, because it doesn't appeal to people. And I can assure him that doesn't appeal to French Quebecers. That will completely turn them off, like nothing else. The name calling and little mean snickering, name whatever it is, sneering and that type of thing. Quebecers like positive politics.
Let me focus on what's happening here municipally. So I'm going to be chatting with Soraya Martinez-Ferrata coming up in about 15 minutes, just after the 5:30 news. She's officially in the race for mayor of Montreal, running, of course, with Ensemble. She's a former federal, cabinet minister, former tourism minister. How much do you know about her?
Actually, I know her. I knew her when she was a city councillor in Montreal. So she was also a city councillor for the Saint Michel district between 2005 2009, and she was elected with Union, but then she crossed the floor and was with Vision from 07 to 09. So that's when I knew her, when I was coordinating the West for Vision Montreal for a while. She showed up with a very impressive clutch of supporters today, including Pierrefonds Roxborough Mayor Jim Bates, Ilbizar Mayor Doug Hurley. She's got Julien Rattel, Emile Rattel, the housing critic for Ensemble. She's got Laurent Desbois, who's the mayor of Outremont. Christine Black, who's the mayor of Montreal North. Aras Salem, the interim leader, and Stephanie Valenzuela, who's the caucus chair. I also know that my friend and my recruit, Ben Langevin, is endorsing Soraya as city councillor, came out with that publicly today. So I hope you have a great interview with her. I'm reserving judgment. But one of the things that I would really like to know from, not just from Soraya and any other Ensemble candidate that might show up, but also from the candidates from Projet Montréal, I would really like to know if they're planning on undoing the announcement that Valerie Plante made, that $90 million announcement that she made to undo the respect of the OCMP decision on Kamlien Hood. Now, as somebody who forced the biggest public consultation in Montreal's history, I would like to know, I know you were a participant. I met you and your lovely wife at the Côte-Tenay Church during one of the consultations. Yeah. Well, I want to know if they're planning, all of them, on going ahead with this $90 million to plant more trees on Mount Royal and to close down Kamlien Hood. And I think that we as Montrealers, we deserve to know this, and if they're going to start respecting the consultations.
By the way, that's an easy thing to say. Sure, we'll respect consultations. I'd expect that anyway. But I wonder, too, when you describe all the people already in her camp on the day she announced today, it's starting to seem, Jennifer, like a coronation more than a competition for this party.
Well, it could be, and the thing that's good about it, though, is that she knows municipal politics, because after she lost to Union Montreal in 2009, she also worked at City Hall for Louise Harrell, so she knows the municipal file very well. It wouldn't be like, she's shifting over and having to learn all the municipal things. It's kind of like going back to, where she had originally started out, and apparently she was very effective as tourism minister. I'm not supporting or endorsing anybody in the race, but it'd be nice to see a couple of other people in, but you never know. I mean, they have shifted their race, the timing to be able to accommodate people like this, that, they couldn't leave their job in the middle of last year to run for an election in November 2025. You have to be realistic about, well, not you, they have to be realistic about people's realities, and that they need to collect a salary and they need to stay in their jobs. And, most employers don't look, they're not supposed to, but, look favorably. I'm leaving to go run for office. Well, maybe not, right? So give the people the time that they need to be able to make those announcements. But, it could be a coronation, and I hope you have a great interview, and I'll be listening for sure. But it could be just the beginning.
All right, Jennifer Crane. Jennifer, thank you so much. Appreciate it.